Alright, how's it going? So today we decided we're going to play on some blue-white control. We tried the Lotus Field on the last stream. I felt exceedingly clunky, so that's when I decided to try some traditional blue-white control. Just a heads up for anybody who's watching on YouTube, I'm just going to play through the matches we hit. A lot content creators like to cut out their losses and just show the wins. I'm going to show the wins and the losses, just so you can see how this deck compares to the Lotus Field deck. So anyway, this is the list I got. This is the list we aren't running this list, but this is the list that I copied. Apparently Hoaglandia had an open, and this deck got 6th place, and this is the exact list that they ran. I made some changes. First off, Rest in Peace seems really awkward to me. With Search for Escanta, obviously it's only one, and in Memory Deluge, it just feels awkward to run Rest in Peace in the main with these cards, when you could just run another Graphic Cage. It does shut off Memory Deluge, but the least here, I added little teferis that just got re-templated. The idea here is you can have Graphic Cage in play, and it won't exile your Memory Deluge. And if you get to a spot in the game where you can cast Memory Deluge and you have a Teferi in play, you can bounce your Graphic Cage back to your hand, use your Memory Deluge, and then play the Graphic Cage again. Also, Graphic Cage does not turn off Search for Escanta, so it's a change. I'll show you the list we're playing today. This is the list that we're playing today. The cuts were, I cut 3 Censors, I cut the Rest in Peace, and I cut a Island. So I cut an Island and ran a Jawari Disruption. It plays as a land, also plays the same area that Censor would play in. Plains, there is one basic Plains in here. I feel like this is slightly awkward, and there's 2 Field of Ruins. This mana base is a little greedy in my opinion when you're trying to cast Archmage Charm on 3, but at the same time we have Divine Purge, so I'm keeping the 1 Plains and the 2 Field of Ruins. Also the other cuts, like I said, the Rest in Peace got replaced by a Graphic Cage. The other 2 Censors were replaced with 2 little Teferis, and the last remaining Dovin's Veto was our other card we ran instead of Censor. So again, sorry I was all over the place there. We cut a Rest in Peace for a Graphic Cage. We cut 3 Censors, and we cut that for Dovin's Veto, 2 Teferis. We cut 1 Island and played a Jawari Disruption in its place. So this is the list we're going to play. We're just going to run through the ladder of best of 1. Same as before, ladder has reset. Hey, how's it going, Brad? I need to call you with a favor then, by the way, Brad, if you don't mind, about F&M on Friday. Sorry, I'm gonna have to change scenes here real quick. Right. There we go. That way you can see more of the field. We go first. Hopefully we're not against the control deck. But we have a removal spell into a board wipe into Narset, so we'll keep. I'm very interested to play as Divine Purge. It's very interesting that it hits artifacts and such. This might be a rough matchup with our hand. Pardon me. Divine Purge is a card that Jeskai doesn't play, so I'm curious to see how it does. It's worth noting we're not running Portable Hole, obviously, as it's an artifact and it would get hit by our Divine Purge, so just a heads up there. Sorry, I'm just trying to decide if it's worth killing this or just jamming a Narset. I think we're just going to jam a Narset. Hopefully I'll play some more cards into our Divine Purge. No can. Oh, come on, Matt. Now Brad, I was gonna ask you if I could drop off my deck and bag with you like tomorrow evening, as I'll probably be at work late again, but I should be able to make F&M, so I didn't know if I could drop my book bag off with you, so that way I won't have to run home and grab it. I really don't want to leave it in the car at work, if that's possible. I'm gonna just go jam our Divine Purge here. They might have a Spell Pierce, which would be make a lot of sense, as it's probably like a tempo deck. Alright, oh, that's aggressive. Our opponent just conceded. I don't think a concession there was warranted, but I thought we were getting Spell Pierce, to be honest. Oh, that's right. This is no, this isn't pre-release weekend, right? That's next weekend, right? Yeah, if you're not going, Brad, that's no big deal. No, that's fine. I'll give you a call after the stream. We can figure it out, or I'll shoot you a text. We go first. Hand's a little slow. We'll give it a shot. We have this awkward planes, so we do hit a Archmage Charm. It's going to be a little awkward. I'm just going to play our island here. Hope to rip an island off the top, and then we can hold up Archmage Charm. Spirits. Oh, okay, Brad, I got you. I'm gonna pass here. I assume they're gonna flash something in here. Idea here is we can cycle the Shark Typhoon for 1, and we can ambush one of their Spectral Sailors. I'm hoping that we'll get a response out of them. That way they tap out on their turn, we can board weight them with Divine Purge. I know for sure they play interaction here. Alright, we'd like a land here. Sweet. I'm going to start with Divine Purge, and we'll follow up with Wrath of God next turn. Oh wow, it resolves. It's impressive. Well, this is great for us. They didn't have a counterspell last time. We're just trying to buy time here. Hopefully they can't kill our Teferi this turn. If they do, they probably have to play a Lord. I think the Lords are, what, 2 mana and 3 mana? So if they do that, hopefully it means Wrath of God's going to resolve. Okay, they're definitely attacking us now. Oh, Teferi, okay. They don't draw a card. Trying to debate how greedy we want to be here. We can Archmage Charm and steal their guy. They have a counterspell, we have a Disruption. I don't particularly care for that. I feel like we should just try and jam a Teferi and tuck. It's probably our best bet. Then we lose it to the Spectral Sailor. I'm just going to jam the Norset here. I feel like that is the lowest kickback for us, as in if they counter it. It's not the biggest loss to us. It also keeps them from drawing cards. Sorry, keeps them from drawing cards off their Curious Obsession. Since we couldn't counter anything, we're just going to play our Disruption here. We just want to hit our land drops. So we're losing our Norset here, but it's also buying us time. It's the idea. Ideally here we'll rip a land so we can go Wrath of God with Archmage Charm back up. And we do hit, sweet. See what our opponent all has over there. Man, our opponent just has nothing. We're just getting super lucky here. I assume that means they have a bunch more creatures to play here. I'm just going to go ahead and take their Spectral Sailor here. They have enough they can start drawing cards. Not that they can draw a card and play more cards, but we can also activate their Spectral Sailor as well. It will also trade. Let's jam it to Teferi here. We're just going to go ahead and plus here. Alright. I'm not going to count. I probably could have countered this Brazen Borrower, to be honest, but... hopefully this turn we're just going to trade our 1-1 for their 1-1 and draw a card in response. Okay, they just concede. I do feel like they were out of that matchup, unlike our first opponent. I feel like we got fairly lucky to win that match. Shouldn't say lucky. I feel like that's one of our rougher matchups. They can play a 1-1 and suit it up and just start swinging with it with a bunch of counter magic as backup. It's almost like a Delver strategy. Excuse me, in Legacy, where you just play a Delver, you just protect the queen and beat down. This hand's so borderline. We're on the play. If this was on the draw, I would not even consider keeping it. But we have a removal spell with a lot of top end. I think I'm going to mulligan here. Alright. This Field of Ruin's very awkward, but we'll keep this and put a Divine Purge on the bottom. Why best of one? Good question. I don't have to do best of one. I don't know. I can just play through them quicker, I guess, and I feel like that's a big perk of Arena, I guess. We're just going to go ahead and kill their creature here. I didn't want to use the Divine Judgment on 2 cards, so... I'm going to be greedy here and take the Shark Typhoon. If I take the Divine Purge, they'll know about it and play around it more. This also kind of makes them incentivized to play more to the board. They don't. We can Shark Typhoon for 2 next turn and block. That's an interesting card. I'm gonna pass here. I'm gonna be a little greedy. Hold up. We're going to Shark Typhoon for 2 and trade with one of their creatures. I want to get as much value out of this Divine Judgment as possible, and bouncing something with Teferi is terrible as they all have ETBs. I assume our shark's probably dead here. I assume they have a removal spell. Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, just trying to think here. Ideally, all my planeswalkers will die into this, but I'd like to hold this Divine Purge to get rid of their Bone Crusher, but that might just be too greedy. We'll go ahead and take care of their utility land. And we'll just Divine Purge. Hopefully he can't deploy 2 threats next turn. Wish I had that Field of Ruin back right about now. With that said, this is a fairly big mana sink, so our opponent did have more dispute to the board here. I'm going to start with Little Teferi here. I'm willing to throw away our Little Teferi. I know his creature has haste, which feels kind of bad. Alright. But we did hit Deck and Stone, which is good. Hopefully they just animate the land. Oh, that's a good card. Oh, I didn't realize Deck and Stone was sorcery speed. That's terrible. So we're just about dead here. I thought this was our other card, our Fateful Absence. We are pretty close to dead here. That man land that they have over there is going to cause some problems. Oh, it's actually just lethal. I forget it makes a 1/1. Yeah, I got it. I don't know if there's much we could have done in that matchup specifically. I did punt there with the Declaration in Stone. I should have cast it on my turn. Again, the hand's a little slow, but we are in a play and we have a Divine Purge, so I'm going to give it a shot here. Our mana is very clunky in this hand, though. We'll start with the Fortress, followed by the Hall, just in case we draw Archmage Charm and another land. That's a good question. Yeah, but what ticked up instead? Oh yeah, and held up the declaration stone. Yeah, you're correct. Definitely would have been better. Like I said, I completely messed that up. Yeah, you're definitely right. That was definitely the better play there, Brad. For sure. Yeah. Especially the Deccan in hand with the plus, I could have cast it instant speed as well. Definitely the play there. Sorry, I was talking to accidentally click through the blockers. But yeah, I completely agree. Nice thing about all these decks that don't play red is they're just very slow. We'll get to play right this time, Brad. We'll instant speed Wrath here. Oh, just kidding. I killed our guy. Take the Wrath of God here. Oh man, they had double Murderous Rider. Come on, opponent. See if our opponent has a third Murderous Rider. Alright, our opponent's seen enough. They've just lost too much tempo at that point. Sorry, if you see me after every round, I'm picking up my phone to keep track of our record. So I can put it on YouTube. Every time I go to post on YouTube, I'm just like, I think this is what our record was, and I have actually no idea what our record was. Our opponent's name is Snapcaster. Are we taking that at face value? Does that mean anything? Hand's a little clunky again. Field of Ruin. Just being very awkward. We'll give it a shot. If they're an aggressive deck, it might be a little rough, but we'll see. Our opponent has taken one mulligan. Alright, and they kept 1/6. This Grafdigger's Cage being in the main is so hilarious to me. Like, it feels great in some matchups in best of one. It just feels like the very best, and then sometimes it just feels awkward. At least we had the blue source so we can untap and Narset. Yeah, this Grafdigger's Cage is good. It looks like we might be up against Phoenix, so if they can't counter this Narset between that and the between that and our Grafdigger's Cage, this might be pretty strong. Let's see. Nope, nothing. Alright, seems good. I'm gonna take a backup Narset. If this truly is Phoenix, Narset's gonna be really strong here. I'm not going to play other Narset here. I feel like this card really hinders our opponent's deck, so I'm going to make them answer it. We also are holding up commit here, obviously. Yeah, they're just going to hard cast a Phoenix, and we'll just commit this back. Like I said, this Narset's just doing great work just sitting there for us. See what our opponent does here. We have another one. That's fine. We'll cycle, make a 3/3 shark to block. Wow, they're being aggressive and going face. This might prompt a concession here. See if they have the removal spell. They do not. Okay. Oh, I completely missed they had a man land over there. That was a misplay on my part. 100% should have hit their man land over here. I just wanted to shuffle their Phoenix away. Since that's the case, I'm just going to pass and not do anything with their Narset. Apparently that backfired horrendously for me. I always forget Unholy Heat's in this format, which is terrible. Unholy Heat is such a strong card in any format it's played in. Alright, we just need a good hit here. The nice thing is we do have a castle in play. Between a castle and Archmage Charm, I feel okay. Just remember this memory can't be cast due to our Grafdigger's Cage. I'm gonna let that resolve. We have a Wrath of God. I'm just gonna draw cards here. I'm not going to do anything about Faithless Looting. I assume they have an answer to our Grafdigger's Cage somewhere in their main deck, but... All right, we did hit a teferi here, which is good. Help us start pulling away with this. I don't care about Sprite Dragon. I'm literally just going to sell this Archmage Charm so we can cast it as backup for our Divine Purge. What's good, our opponent's going all in. Divine Purge isn't as good as if it was a Wrath of God here. The upside of Divine Purge obviously is they will enter tapped, which is something. There's something to be said here about it is also awkward. I just noticed that our Grafdigger's Cage did get hit by our Divine Purge. I just now to notice that. It's okay. We can recast it. Well, our opponent has hit all their unholy heats. They've hit 3. See, our opponent can go off and get their Phoenixes back into play here. Should they have another what? Well, yeah, they definitely play a play set of Unholy Heats, if that's what you're saying. I totally agree. It's just that they had 3 in their top, you know, top half of their deck. How many Phoenixes does our opponent have? I think 2, right? We'll see if they have another one. They have no cards in hand at this point. Brad, did you see that terrible play I just did? I hope you didn't see that. I'm sure you did, but that was terrible. Anyway, for anyone who missed it, I'm over here talking to Brad, and I I played my Grafdigger's Cage first and then Divine Purged immediately after. Such a terrible play. Such a punt. Completely. Such a punt. Well, we deserve to lose this one. Completely 100% deserve to lose this one. That was terrible. This Grafdigger's Cage should still be in play. A whiff. What happens when I'm not paying attention? Our opponent keeps replaying all their toys. It's not fair. I feel like even with all our terrible misplays, we're going to be okay here. which is not justice. There's no justice in the world. That's interesting. I thought this Darcy perpetually gained cost 2 more. I thought I hit this with 2 Divine Wraths. Our opponent's going face. They're being aggressive. I guess we are at 5. We could die. Oh, our opponent almost did. They almost cracked a clue on our turn, on their turn. All right, we just need a big Teferi or a Shark Typhoon here to close this out. Our opponent has 26 cards left in their deck. They've seen over half their deck at this point. They have all the Darcys. They just mix 4. Sparkling Drake is a little more terrifying. We'll counter that one. So I'm debating how greedy I want to be here, and I think I'm going to be real greedy. Alright, so we're going to be super greedy here. Hold on, let's make sure I can't lose here before I go doing this. Yeah, 3 of these. We're going to shuffle it all away. Alright, we're going to be greedy here. We're going to put our Graph Digger's Cage back in our hand. We're going to draw a card and we're going to cast Memory with our Narset in play. We'll draw 7, our opponent won't draw any, and it'll shuffle their graveyard back into their deck. So I feel like we should be okay. Famous last words. Alright, we even drew the Archmage Charm, so we're good here. Alright, it goes away. We're gonna pass here. Hopefully we can't die. My luck, I just gave them 2 Phoenixes. We're probably dead here with my greedy line. That's a good card. I love this that it perpetually gains 4 more and enters tapped. That's so great with Memory. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Brad. Have a good night. This matchup's very over. We're just taking a long time to finish this off. We just cannot find a big Teferi. Well, there's a Hall of the Storm Giants, which is good. At this point, I just hard cast a Shark Typhoon if we could ever hit one. I'm just going to go ahead and counter this here. We don't have another answer to it in our hand. Alright, we officially have our clock in play. It is worth noting we are at 5. Don't care about Sprite Dragons. The only thing we care about here are Phoenixes and their Crackling Drakes, as we can Divine Purge every time inside of combat, and then if they replay them, they'll be tapped and we can attack with our 7/7. This is awkward with our Graph Digger's Cage, but they don't have anything going on at least. Seem like good cards to me. Alright, so can we attack with our Hall here? We have like 2, 4, 6 mana. And we'll untap 2. Unfortunately, we cannot. So I'm just going to play as Graph Digger's Cage and hold up the Instant Speed Wrath of God. We'll start attacking next turn. This match should take very long to close out. Our opponent has lost, they just don't know it yet. Alright, I think we stabilized finally. Hopefully this will be enough for our opponent to pack it in. I apologize, I'm not talking much. There's not much to say here. Like I said, our opponent has lost this match. It's just we're just making clicks and finishing it up here. We have Archmage Charm up with a Fateful Absence, a Graph Digger's Cage in play. We have 3 Planeswalkers and a Shark Typhoon. I don't even know if I care enough to kill these. Oh, it says Lotus Field. Hey, thank you so much, Matt. Good call. I'll change that right now. Good call. Alright, we got that updated. Thank you. Appreciate that, Matt. I didn't take notice of that. Hold on, let me finish this up. Alright. We're good here. Yeah, those cards all look fine. They all look like cards that will do. Appreciate that, Matt. I don't know what our opponent's doing here, but they know I had the declaration in stone and I can do it instant speed, so them pumping their guys here is not doing anything. They can't draw any cards because of Narset. I assume they're just showing me they had a bunch of considers in their hand before they concede. So now we exile both their cards. They get 2 clues. Can we kill them here? We could, but we're just gonna... We'll just keep playing our opponent. Let's keep playing. We'll keep playing here. I was punished for playing my land early there, by the way. I should have held, wait till I drew off teferi. I would have hit the Field of Ruin. It's irrelevant at this point, but... as our opponent has died. They were dead for many turns, but just would not concede. They can't animate their man land here, which is fine. We'll kill it with Fateful Absence. I was going to be a dick there and double kill it just to show, but... so our opponent's floating mana as if they can do something. Our opponent liked to play, apparently. They didn't want to concede. Alright, I think we'll play through one more game here. That last match was very unfortunate. I felt like we had it locked up for quite a long time there, even with all of the misplays I made. Our opponent just didn't realize it was over. That's in paper, that's almost one of the points where you just set your hand on the table and just, you know, let them know that the game has not ended. Yeah, very salty. Like cracking clues, floating mana, and I'm just like, bro. And we actually lost a die roll here. All right, Matt, what do you think? Are we against aggro or not? We have a Graph Digger's Cage in the hand's pretty good against control, but we'll get completely ran over. Do we gamble? We'll keep it. We're gonna hope this isn't oh, it's aggro. We lost. We gambled and lost. This is the ladder, of course, in best of one. We should know that it's aggro. Oh, look, they have tech. They have a selfless savior. Too bad that doesn't do anything against our exile effects. Snap keep. We kept. See if we get there. We have an Archmage Charm. That's something, right? I'm gonna lose my mind if they play a non-creature spell here, and I could have held up Dovin's Veto. A Luris. A main deck Luris. That's wild. Okay. Main deck Luris. Like in the main. Not a companion. Alright, Wrath effect. It's not a Wrath effect. It's not even a land. I think we might have died here, Matt. Oh my god, their Heliod's turned on. I think we're very dead here. I mean, technically we're still in it if we rip our card off the top. It's not what I wanted to see. It's so awkward too because this Archmage Charm's turned off as well. I'd love to play Search for its concept, but I feel like we're almost dead at that point. Alright, we got next turn yet, I feel like, and then after that, we're pretty much dead. They're just gonna sack their dog here in response. It does shut off their Heliod, obviously, so we take a little less damage, but still not in a good spot here. We really need at least a land. If we can't hit our sweeper, we need a land off the top here, so we can go search and hold up our Fateful Absence. Our opponent is trying to play their card from their hand and not realizing why they can't. Oh my, they made a 4/4. We are 100% dead here. We need a sweeper. Alright, full control. Are we gonna hit? Haha! Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. That's hilarious. That's great. I mean, we're still not in a good spot here. We still need lands. Alright, we're getting there. Lures cost how much now? Cost what? 5. So I can't play a creature. We're gonna be greedy. We're gonna get our search for his constant into play. We have a fateful absence up. Fateful absence up. They just had another Luris just laying in their hand. That's wild. Apparently our opponent's all in on Luris in the main. We're going to go ahead and kill the Luris. As they messed up, they should have played their selfless savior. Okay, they saved it. I don't know. I feel like they should have played their dog. How does this work when they gain... I completely misunderstood this card. I thought it's when you gain 7 life. Alright, we got greedy and lost. Alright. Alright, we'll play one more game since we gambled with that last one there. Pardon me, with that hand. That hand should have been a mulligan in the dark, to be honest. Especially in best of 1. Hand might get ran over, but it has a removal spell with a search for his contest, so I don't think I don't keep this hand. Looks like our opponent's off to the races here. What is this card? I have no idea what this is. Interesting. Hopefully our Wrath of God isn't too slow here. The way our opponent's going off, it might be. Double Burning Tree is pretty strong. Alright, let's see if we're dead here. Our opponent had a very quick start. Looks like our opponent's missing a land drop, possibly. They have a pump spell to kill us. Our opponent might have the indestructible spell here. No? Okay. We're at 3. They hit the land. I assume they play their Bone Crusher here. We only have one line here. We have to tuck the Bone Crusher, as bad as that feels, knowing it's going to deal 2 to us in the future. Well, that's concerning. They had a Bone Crusher in their hand.
So here we are, like we were, 2 feet apart in different worlds.
So we're in this awkward spot. Archmage Charm can steal their collector. Turns off their Love-Struck Beast. And also play a Teferi and Minus on the Pelt Collector. See if they have another answer to it. I think that's the better play. Or that's actually the best play. Alright, we're going up here since we drew the removal spell.
Now that I know the way it ends, the words we chose irrelevant. Let's just pretend a little bit. I know I should leave, but I don't wanna go just yet, 'cause I'm not really over it.
Our opponent had double Burning Tree, double Pelt Collector, double Bone Crusher, and their top 12 cards. It's pretty wild. Hopefully I don't have a haste threat yet. Do they have the 4th Bone Crusher Giant? No. Okay. Alright, our opponent packs it up. I feel like they had a chance there as a very outside shot, but I don't feel like they were fully out of it there. But our opponent does pack it up. Alright, let's take a look at the deck one last time here, before we wrap it up here. Waiting for our servers. Alright, so this was the list. Like I said, I made some changes from the stock list that we got from the Hoaglandia Open. We ended up, our final record was 5-2. The one loss we did take was a very greedy keep in best of 1. Take that for what you will. Not saying we would have won if we mulliganed, but definitely would have had better shot. After playing Divine Purge, I do see why the original player of this deck ran 1 Graph Digger's Cage and 1 Rest in Peace. As our Divine Purge does hit our Graph Digger's Cage, it did come up multiple times. It didn't cost us any games. The only thing I liked about the Graph Digger's Cage over the Rest in Peace, as I said at the beginning of the video, is teferi can bounce it back to your hand when you want to cast a Memory Deluge from the yard, or if you want to play the memory part of Commit. Also, Rest in Peace turns off Search for Escanta, or Graph Digger's Cage does not. If that's worth the trade-off, I'm not really sure. This interaction between Purge and Graph Digger's Cage is very awkward. So take it for what you will. The mana was okay. I was really questioning this mana base, as you obviously need double white on 3 and double blue, triple blue on 3. The double Field of Ruins seems a little greedy in my opinion. We saw it a little bit, but I don't think we lost any games due to it. And Field of Ruin did have a couple spots where it did feel very strong against the man lands in the format. The rest of it seemed alright. Deck and Stone isn't bad. I definitely think it's better with Teferi, so you can do it at instant speed. The rest is all pretty generic. Sharks. You need a closer. Teferi is obviously the best high-end answer to have currently. So yeah, our final record, like I said, was 5-2. So I guess that's where I'll leave it. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a good night.